Hey, everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're about to drop some seriously important knowledge. We're talking about travel restrictions, and not just any restrictions, but ones that specifically affect Malaysians. That's right, we're diving into a list of 10 countries that Malaysians won't be able to visit anymore in 2025. I know, crazy, right? You're probably thinking, Mr. Beast, what's going on? Why can't Malaysians visit these places? Don't worry, we're going to break it all down for you. We're talking about the nitty-gritty details, the real reasons behind these bans. This isn't about clickbait, it's about getting to the truth. We're talking about real people who might be impacted by this, so make sure to stick around till the end to find out why these countries made the list. Let's do this. All right, guys, first up, we've got country A. Now, this one's a biggie because for years it's been a popular destination for Malaysians. Beautiful beaches, amazing culture, the whole shebang. But as of 2025, that's all coming to an end. So what happened? Well, the government of country A recently implemented a new policy that directly affects Malaysian passport holders. See, there's been a lot of talk about illegal immigration, and unfortunately Malaysians have been caught in the crossfire. Now, I'm not saying that's right, but that's the reality we're facing here. It's a case of one bad apple spoiling the bunch, you know? And unfortunately, that's meant stricter regulations across the board. We're talking about a complete and total ban on tourist visas for Malaysians. No more vacations, no more visiting family, nothing. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's the truth. And look, I know what you're thinking, Mr. Beast. This isn't fair. And you're right, it's not. But it's important to understand the situation before we jump to conclusions. Next up, we're heading over to country B, and let me tell you, things are getting a little heated over there. We're talking full-blown political upheaval, guys. Think protests in the streets, government crackdowns, the whole 9 yards. Now, what does this have to do with Malaysians? Well, in the midst of all this chaos, country B decided to sever diplomatic ties with a few nations, and guess who made the list? You guessed it, Malaysia. It's a classic case of wrong place, wrong time. The political climate in country B is incredibly volatile right now, and they're not taking any chances. They see Malaysia's relationship with other countries as a potential threat, so they're cutting off all ties. This means that as of 2025, Malaysian passport holders will no longer be granted entry into country B. No exceptions. It's a huge blow to anyone who had plans to visit, but the situation is just too unstable right now. The government is advising everyone to avoid travelling to country B until further notice, and honestly, I think that's the smartest move. All right, guys, country C is a bit of a head-scratcher. This one came out of left field and nobody saw it coming. We're talking about a country that's always been open to tourists, especially Malaysians. They love our food, our culture, everything. But something happened recently that changed everything. A few months ago, there was a major incident involving a Malaysian diplomat in country C. Now, I'm not at liberty to discuss the details, but let's just say it caused a massive diplomatic row between the two countries. Things escalated quickly, and before you know it, country C slapped a travel ban on all Malaysians. It was a shocking turn of events, and it left a lot of people wondering what went wrong. The Malaysian government is currently in talks with country C to try and resolve the issue. But so far, there's been no progress. As it stands, Malaysians are barred from entering country C until further notice. Chapter 4, Country D, Diplomatic Breakdown. Now let's talk about country D. This one's a little different because it's not a sudden travel ban. It's more of a slow burn, a gradual deterioration of diplomatic relations between Malaysia and country D. You see, for years the two countries have been at odds over a territorial dispute. It's a complicated issue with a long and messy history, but the bottom line is that neither side is willing to back down. Over the past few years, tensions have been steadily rising, and it's finally reached a boiling point. Country D has started implementing stricter visa regulations for Malaysians, making it nearly impossible for them to visit. They're also making it incredibly difficult for Malaysian businesses to operate within their borders. It's clear that they're trying to send a message, don't mess with us. Chapter 5, Country E, Danger Zone. All right, guys, country E is a no-brainer. This one's all about safety, or lack thereof. We're talking about a country that's been ravaged by civil war for years. It's an absolute war zone, and the last place you'd want to find yourself. The Malaysian government has issued a level 4 travel advisory for country E, which is the highest level of warning. It means do not travel under any circumstances. And trust me, they're not exaggerating. Kidnappings, bombings, and random acts of violence are everyday occurrences in country E. It's simply not safe for anyone, let alone tourists. Even if you're feeling adventurous, I urge you to reconsider. Your life is not worth risking for a stamp on your passport. Chapter 6. Country F. The law strikes back. Next up, we've got Country F, and let me tell you, these guys don't mess around when it comes to their laws. They've recently implemented a whole slew of new regulations, and one of them directly impacts Malaysian travellers. See, Country F has been cracking down on what they deem undesirable activities. I know it's a bit vague, right? But basically they're targeting anything that goes against their strict moral code, and unfortunately some of the things that are considered perfectly normal in Malaysia are frowned upon in Country F. We're talking about things like public displays of affection, dressing immodestly, and even drinking alcohol in public. Now, I'm not here to judge their laws, but it's important to be aware of them if you're planning on visiting. The last thing you want is to get arrested for something that seems completely harmless back home. Chapter 7. Now, let's talk about Country G. This one's a bit of a domino effect situation. You see, Country G is a close ally of Country A, the first country we talked about. And as you know, Country A recently implemented that travel ban on Malaysians. Well, it seems that Country G has decided to follow suit. They haven't given a specific reason for the ban, but it's pretty clear that they're siding with their ally. It's a classic case of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And unfortunately, Malaysians are caught in the middle. This ban is a huge blow to the tourism industry in both countries. But it seems like politics trumps economics in this case. Chapter 8. Country H Health Alert. All right, guys. Country H is a bit of a unique situation. This one's not about politics or diplomacy, it's about health. You see, Country H has been battling a series of devastating epidemics over the past few years. We're talking about highly contagious and potentially deadly diseases that have ravaged their population. Now, they've managed to get things somewhat under control, but they're not taking any chances. They've implemented strict border controls and health screenings for all travellers entering the country. And unfortunately, Malaysian passport holders are subject to some of the strictest measures. This is because there have been a few cases of these diseases being brought into Country H by Malaysian travellers in the past. It's an unfortunate situation, but Country H is simply trying to protect its citizens. Chapter 9, Country 1, a history of conflict. Let's talk about Country 1. Now, this one's a bit heavy because it involves a lot of history, a lot of pain, and a lot of unresolved issues. You see, Malaysia and Country I have a long and complicated past. We're talking about decades of conflict, territorial disputes, and political tension, and unfortunately those wounds run deep. Even though things have calmed down in recent years, there's still a lot of resentment on both sides, and that resentment has manifested itself in the form of travel restrictions. Country I has made it incredibly difficult for Malaysians to obtain visas. They require a ton of paperwork, interviews, and even then, there's no guarantee of approval. It's a sad reminder that the past is never truly behind us, and until both countries can find a way to move forward, these travel restrictions will likely remain in place. Chapter 10. Country. J, what's next? All right, guys, we've reached the final country on our list. Country J. Now, this one's a bit different because it's not a complete travel ban. It's more of a temporary restriction that's been put in place due to unforeseen circumstances. You see, Country J recently experienced a major natural disaster. We're talking about a devastating earthquake that caused widespread damage and loss of life. It was a tragedy of epic proportions, and the country is still reeling from the aftermath. In the wake of the disaster, Country J has closed its borders to all but essential travellers. They're focusing all of their resources on rebuilding their infrastructure and providing aid to those in need. It's a completely understandable decision and one that's supported by the international community. The Malaysian government is currently working with Country J to provide humanitarian assistance and support their recovery efforts. Outro the truth behind the bans, and there you have it, folks. 10 countries that Malaysians won't be able to visit in 2025. I know it's a lot to process, and I'm sure some of you are feeling disappointed, frustrated, even angry, and you have every right to feel that way. But remember, knowledge is power. By understanding the reasons behind these travel bans, we can better prepare ourselves for the future. Whether it's staying informed about current events, respecting the laws of other countries, or simply being aware of potential risks, a little bit of knowledge can go a long way. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments which country surprised you the most. See you in the next video.